Okay, thank you very much. I'm extremely happy to welcome Professor Takagi from Showa University. This is a great way to celebrate our upcoming partnership with Showa Women's University, and I'm also very happy that there are several students and faculty from the university. So as I always say, brevity is a sort of wit. You've read the invitation, so our speaker doesn't need any introduction. So Professor Takagi, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for kind information for me, about me. I'm very happy to invite me, and I'm very happy too. This today is the celebration day of TUJ 35th anniversary, and one of the most happiest thing is its new relationship, new partnership with Showa Women's University and TUJ. So today I will I'm Toshio Takagi from Showa Women's University. So today I will talk about the black kigyo, black companies. But black companies in English is it is a different means. So today I will talk black kigyo. It is a very special thing in Japan. So, okay. So this is today's agenda. So some of my students come to this place. So I add some the Japanese translations. So I have three agendas. First one is I will talk about what is a black company and why do black companies occur in Japan. And the second is, so I will show you the cause of the problem is Japanese management style. As you know, Japanese management style is the very strong sense of unity between employees and companies. So I said the very strong unity is, I said, ie. Ie means home, house, family, and clans. So my third point is black kigyo problem does not appear suddenly, but it is inherent in Japanese companies and appears deformed shapes. So regarding these matters, I will approach from the historical and institutional points of view. So let's move to the next slide. So in this page, I will show you the table of contents of my presentation. At first, I will explain what is a black kigyo problem. Then next, to trace the origin of this problem, I focus to the essence of Japanese management. Especially, I will talk about the ie. So, and ie, as I said, ie makes the strong sense of unity between employees and companies. But why ie involved in black kigyo problems? I will talk about at section 3. After explaining these things, I move to the discussion and the conclusion part. So in this part, I will talk about what is a black kigyo problem, the characteristic black kigyo, and I will show you the 3 common views about black kigyos. So the black kigyo problem is a very serious problem in Japan. So this phrase arose after the economic downturn by the Lehman Brothers bankruptcy in 2008. And the mass media has taken this issue more seriously, and it is viewed as a problem in Japan. So I think black kigyo has some characteristics. First one is black kigyo hired a significant number of new graduates. And second, black Kigyo's work environment has become worse at excessive competition rather than then workers who gave in competition left spontaneously. And the third thing is the new graduates that black Kigyo hired took work long hours and unpaid overwork. It is for granted. It can be said this is a so terrible situation, I think. But I have a question. I have a question for you. It's a very simple question. Why has black Kigyo problem occurred in Japan? Why black Kigyo company problem occur in Japan? How do you think? Okay, yeah, please.
One of the reasons is really not the company, but the environment that the people are working in, particularly the other members within a group. That group has an influence on how much you work. And what they see is what they think is good. So if you're there a long time, that is good. If you leave immediately, that is bad. So you create this environment where you have to just stay there a long time because it's visible.
Okay, thank you so much. It is my conclusion, but it's okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Anyway, I think the three things why black Kigyo problem occur in Japan. The first one is some people said Japan has underdevelopment for the protection of the laborers. But it is true thing? I don't think so, because this graph is, I will show this graph. And this graph means the working hour per person per year, and we can understand differences each countries. So as you can see, the workers in Japan had long working hours. Just a moment. How can I use it? Yeah. Okay. The long working hours in 30 years ago. You can see the point, red point. 30 years ago, the Japanese working hour is very long time. In 1980s, it was a bubble economy in Japan. But now the working hours are decreasing, and now is a very small amount of hours, lower than United States. The reason of this decreasing is the policy and act of reduction of working hours from the Japanese government in 1988. So Japanese workers protect their working hours by the working act. So that is the hypothesis of the legal system is underdeveloping is, I think, rejected. So some other people think the black Kigyo problem arises due to there is no other place to work. Of course, the labor exploitation frequently occurs if substitutional possibility, change possibility is low. But legal system are underdeveloped, and career paths are difficult. But in Japan, as I said, legal system is already developed, and unemployment rate is only 2.8%. 2.8% is so the amazing score. The 2.8 is almost the achievement of full employment. And if you want to change the job to another companies, it is so easy to change. So, and more, university graduates in Japan, but so now experiencing the black key problem. So that is, I think, the thinking of no other place to work is rejected too. So others, the third point is the black key problem occurred due to the recession in 2008. Yes, that's true. Black key problem occurred in 2008. It is the same time of recession period. But black key problem arises still now on. As you know, now is the economic recovery phase from 2012. But the journalist of NHK TV station died in 2013. And one of the biggest advertisement company, Dentsu's women's worker died in 2015. So given this situation, this recession's idea is also rejected. So it's so confusing because Japan already has a lot of laws to protect workers, and unemployment rate is so low, and it is also possible to change the jobs. And more, the Japanese economy is improving. So now, how do you think why black key problem arises in this good situation? So to clarify the cause of this problem, we focus on the Japanese management system. Especially, as I said, we focus on the traditional Japanese logic of ie. So as I said, ie means family, home, house, or clans. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Yeah. So okay, let's move to the chapter 2. At first, I will show you the research of Japanese management, especially historical approach of Japanese management. As you know, the Japanese economy developed rapidly after the World War II, and Japan was one of the largest economic powers. To discover the secret of economic growth in Japan, many researchers in the United States and Japan researched the principle of the Japanese management system. And the researchers found 3 secrets of Japanese management. It is seniority-based the seniority-based wage systems. Next one is lifetime employment. And the third one is enterprise unions. So based on the 3 secrets of Japanese management, Japanese workers work hard as like us. I will show the very unique TV CF commercial films. Just a moment. Do you know these commercial films? No. Do you know? It is a pep-up drink. And the Japanese businessman is a very strange word, but Japanese businessman who worked extremely hard for 24 hours to work. So, although we cannot think at the present, but such commercial films was common in the 1980s. So it's a long-time work it's very common in 1980s. In this period, Professor Mito is a very famous Japanese business management scholar. He said he explored the logic of IE as being based on Japanese firms' inherited theories. According to the logic of IE in firm, so Japanese employees possess the principle that prefer the company's development to individual happiness. So which means that they would sacrifice the personal aims or values in achieving the company's goals. It likes TV commercial films, Japanese businessman. But is it strange? How do you think? Is it strange? Why the Japanese businessman prefer the organizational goal rather than personal goal? Well, I think that I don't think that, because based on the ideas of economics, the field of Professor Yashiro Sensei, the people do not do their disadvantages. So workers in Japan think there is something beneficial things there. So through the achievement of the company's goal, they can obtain stable employment until retirement ages, and they get to receive seniority-based wage. So please look at this slide. So these graphs are United States and Japanese workers' annual salary by age. So of course, American citizens get salary by US dollars, and Japanese yen. But if we calculate $1 is 100 yen, so these are same amount of salaries. It's the same lines. So what do you know by looking at these figures? So workers in Japan's salary increasing rapidly until 54 years old, rather than US workers. This means from the views of Japanese workers, their figure is guaranteed if they enter the Japanese companies, and Japanese workers cannot be easily dismissed. So Japanese workers work hard for companies and themselves. So IE is not just labor exploitation, but the IE is all over the one boat, and it is a win-win situation. As long as the company continues to achieve the organizational goal, employees get stable employment and good salary. So in other words, company protect and control and paternalism and domination for employees, and then the situation has resulted in corporate cattle of workers. They never don't say any complaint because company protect themselves. So of course, I can't judge this Japanese management style is good or not, but this system well functioned until the collapse of bubble economy. So, but after 1990s and 2008, the 1990s is the bubble economy burst, and 2008 is the bankruptcy of the Lehman Brothers. So the economics condition changed drastically. These changes of economic condition were sapped Japanese companies' stamina and strong relationship with companies and employees. But employees thinking about company as ie is still exists. Because of to change mentality of employee takes long time, and the mentality of ie is not only about companies, but also school and local communities. So, for example, I think I have just idea, but I think that the good example I have. So please imagine you are going to go to foreign countries. When you meet your boss, your company's boss, will you shake the hands with company's boss in the foreign countries? I think, but I think I do a bow the konnichiwa with konnichiwa. If I stay in Los Angeles, California, but if I met my boss, I do a konnichiwa, not shake hands. So I think that the changing the mentality is, I want to say that changing mentality is so difficult. So therefore, although the company's environment have changed, but the mentality of employees has not changed. So that situation arises in 2018. So this is a point of reason why did black kigyo problem occur in Japan. So black kigyo makes good use the mentality of employees and do a sweated labors. And black kigyos frequently promote ie. So about that, I will explain with the case of Watami. So do you know the case, the Watami, the famous restaurant chain in Japan, izakaya, you know? So you know the Watami is one of the biggest restaurant chain company in Japan. So the founder is Mr. Watanabe. So Mr. Watanabe was born in 1959, and he opened his restaurant in 1984 and founded Watami Corporation in 1986. So Mr. Watanabe grew up in the period of high economic growth and started his business when Japan was the grow-up stage, the stage of economic bubbles. So in 1992, he began to develop the new business style as a rich and enjoyable family home table. So by the way, it looks tasty food. Are you hungry? I'm hungry too. So, but this story from here is it's not a good story. It is very sad story. So this case involved in 26 years old female employee of restaurant chain run by Watami. She was just recent graduated the university and had newly joined the Watami in April 2008. April of 2008. But just 3 months later, she was suicidal jump from the 7th floor of the building. Only just 3 months. So it is July 2008. And she left the notebook. The following, this sentence is her last word. My body hurts, my body is fatigued, my mental state is low, so I can't move quickly. Help me, somebody help me. It's the last word of her So from the report of law court, she had been forced to work 141 hours per month. Overtime is 141 hours per month. So, and furthermore, the job forced abnormally long time constraint on her. And not only he worked more than 140 hours of overtime per month, she was forced to wait in the restaurant for the first train in the morning to return home after a long time. So her house is from 2 hours. So, and the material from the lawsuit showed the improper deductions labeled adjustment had been taken from her pay. So therefore, she was under restraint for an extraordinarily long time. In addition, a lot of things, terrible things I find the law court record. In addition, she had been attending unpaid training and Watami's early morning training, which was incorporated into the holidays, leaving her physical and mentality strained due to lack of rest. So, and the last one is, in addition to regarding the operational manual, she was also required to learn the management philosophy of Watami. So, well, she was asked to write a report. So, but ironically, this management philosophy is Watami's philosophy, had written about the employees are family. It is really? I don't believe that. So Watami's philosophy is employees are family. Look at this sentence. For me, everyone is child regardless of age and position. My 2 children and my Watami's employees are my children. My stance for them is the same. So in other words, under the company's philosophy, we can understand the founder was a father and the employees were as a children. And Watami does not allow employees to form the labor union because the labor union is different in nature from the family. Family members can speak freely, so the union does not belong in companies. However, by not permitting the union made, Mr. Watanabe tried to hard work to employees written as credo. So look at Watami's credo. The 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, work to the death. It is actually written in credo in Watami. Do you think that? I don't believe that. So about the labor union, Mr. Watanabe said as follows: I believe the establishment of labor union is not decision made by the management side. Watami has the phrase employee are family members, and so in this corporate philosophy, for employees who are family members, I think the labor management relations do not exist fundamentally. So let's move to the discussion part. So, called Black企業, the strategical use of IE, they demand selfless devotion of young workers, which is the logic of IE and natural to the Japanese. But important point is the safety and protection conferred by the IE upon the family in the past does not exist. So, but someone, it's time. So I passed skip the next this slide, the next slide. But in Japan, so it is completely different. No, completely different. In the case of Watami, we can find while making employees overloaded, the management use the word family, it's IE for employees. For employees, IE is protecting themselves, so they follow the company's direction. So this is the last part of my presentation. So conclusion part. As I said, the black kigyo problem occurs in Japan. In the background of this problem, Japanese style management exists. The Japanese style management is a strong sense of unity between employees and companies. But black kigyo problem does not appear suddenly. It is the inherent Japanese companies and appear as deformed shapes. So thank you so much. So thank you for your attention. ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Professor Takagi. I'm very happy that you're our second speaker from Showa Women's University. We had Professor Yashiro who's here. You're here. Yes, before. So thank you. Sometimes I think the most exploitative enterprise is the imperial household agency. I mean, the emperor, 80, worked since he was a teenager, asks to retire. For 2 years, they deny him this right. I mean, in any other country, you'd go to court or you just stop working. But I guess he had internalized the values of IE and continued to serve until he was finally allowed next year to retire. Let's start with the Q&A session. So the process is you walk up to the mic so you can be recorded and heard. If you don't want to be recorded and heard, you can speak from your chair. Yes. The mic is behind you.
Just simple question. Why the female worker working Watami did not change job or quit job? It is easier to jump because unemployment ratio is very low.
That's right. Yeah, thank you.
It's strange.
Yes,
so
that's
Japanese right. Usually very passive. They don't say their own opinion or their assertion.
Yes.
Very passive. That's a fundamental reason. Not the program yet.
Yeah, thank you for the question. It is very important question. I think as I said, Japanese mentality.
Maybe you could move here because the mics.
Okay.
I think are affecting.
Here.
Where? Yeah.
Good. Here. It's okay. Yes, and so Japanese people's mentality is very important thing. I think the why and the women worker cannot move to the another companies. So so Japanese mentality, I think. So because so if the same situation in United States, all of United States workers move to another companies, but in Japan is Japan is it's difficult, especially how can I say that? Especially the change the job is not changing the job is not good things. A lot of changing job is not good things. Because now my wife is job seeking, but my wife already moved to one times to another company, and interviewer said, why you moved to you quit this company. This company is so good. So my wife said, yeah, because my first job is in Okinawa. My wife moved to Okinawa together. So, but my wife have a question, very confused. Why moving is not a good thing. So I think that the worker in Watami's female worker think that moving is not a good thing. So I want to try to do in Watami. Is it answer? Oh.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's something, I mean, in the case of Watami, she was a relatively unskilled worker, but it's something that you see also for professionals. If you look at LinkedIn, and one of my projects is to do a quantitative study of this, what's striking is many Japanese are not on LinkedIn. And why is that the case? My hypothesis is that most Westerners are on LinkedIn because even if they have good jobs, they say to themselves, I could always get a better one. And if you're not on LinkedIn, people won't know you exist. So as soon as they get a promotion, they click on LinkedIn, just promoted to, director of supervising the feeding of stray dogs for my company, and then they put an endorsement, dog number 1, no one has fed me better, sort of thing. When I meet Japanese professionals, when I interact with them, my standard thing when I meet someone is to look at LinkedIn to figure out whom I'm dealing with. Either they're not there, or like the Japanese LinkedIn profile would be Jun Sato, male. Okay, that's interesting, but doesn't really tell me much. Or just like the name of the company. And I think one reason is really, I think as Professor Takagi pointed out, is that for a variety of reasons, there is less of an incentive to switch jobs and to look for new jobs. And I think this has maybe affected even the less skilled labor force. I mean, there are Westerners who've done very well by switching jobs every 2 or 3 years. People are impressed. Lateral moves not necessarily great, but upward moves. One company went to it, sometimes they come back, and that's great. And that's very rare here. I know very few 50-plus Japanese professionals who've had more than 2 or 3 jobs. In fact, most of them have only had one. Yes. Oh, well, we have one before. I think you were here before. Yeah. Right. So here, and then here, and then here. Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I thought it was really serious, and I think it's a really serious problem. And my question is, well, I understand problems regarding black kigyo. However, in Japan, there's going to be less people working for a company. So it's getting really hard for companies to hire people. So I kind of think that it's going, the problem is going away eventually. Because some Japanese or non-Japanese companies do a lot of things to attract workers for their companies. So do you think the problem will be solved or go away eventually?
Yeah. Sorry, what question is now is labor force is decreasing?
Yes, in the future, well, there's going to be less people
Yeah.
working for a company,
Yeah,
and the company itself is a black heel, has a lot of problem. Well, maybe you don't want to work for that company. Then people will forget about this company and choose another better company. So
Yes, yes.
in that way, I kind of think that this problem will go away in the near future.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I'd like to know
Okay.
your opinions.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I have one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the black hole phenomena is not eternal thing, eternal phenomena. It's just only the the phenomena of the transition to the how can I say that? Just only the only one or two decades. So after the 2020 or 2030, the Japanese companies need a lot of workforce. So Japanese companies' condition is so good from now on. So it's my opinion. The black companies is down the bye. It's about.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I have a question regarding the work style reform from the government. What do you think how the work style reform affects the problem of the black kigyo nowadays, and what do you expect for the next few years?
Yeah. So now the Japanese government do a lot of things to the black companies' problems. So one of the thing is the black kigyo is I think the 消費者庁, the consumer agency in Japanese government, the website of the consumer agency, this company is black company, this company is black company, list up it. So, and the punishment from the government is very severe too. So now the Japanese government do a lot of things for the black company problems.
It's interesting because I was making this comment of the Kunaicho, but beyond that, I think most government agencies are to some extent black companies. I mean, I have many friends.
Right.
I have many friends who work for the government, and if I compare them to friends, you can't really compare the U.S. and Japan because the U.S. doesn't have the sort of professional elite civil service that Japan has, except in a few departments, but most European countries do. If I think of my friends who are European diplomats, officials, they work hard, but I mean, they have vacations. They don't, as a friend of mine who was in an exchange program to Japanese ministry had colleagues who were sleeping under their tables. I mean, these were men who were like in their 30s or 40s. I mean, they weren't like well educated, and they were taking it lying down. I mean, in any other place, they would have said, look, we're willing to work hard, but either I'm going to resign. I mean, these are very well educated people who normally would do well on the labor market, and they accept working conditions that would be deemed unacceptable in any other country, with perhaps the exception of South Korea, but South Korea has very much a Japanese-style bureaucracy. So it's interesting to say that the government is fighting black kigyos, but it's like the black kigyo telling the others, well, I can be a black kigyo, but you can't. You had a question, yes, gentleman here. You were next.
Thank you for
if you want to go on yeah.
Thank you for highlighting all the information. To elaborate on that question, what are the protocols that the government's doing? Words are cheap. They're putting words on a screen, that's fine, but are there any protocols? How is this company, is the kind still operating? They will find a lot of money, if I'm correct, and all the employees who are over 100 hours overtime, they had to take the time off. What's the government doing in this case? Like, I don't go to the place because I know it's a black company because my students tell me. So what are the punishments? What are the protocols to stop this?
Yeah. So the Japanese government has the protocol of the black companies, but so today I don't have any materials, so I can't the detail of the protocol of about the black companies. But anyway, the black.
Are they sort of observed over a period of time? Are they sort of is an officer sent there? Is there something like that?
Yes, based on the protocol, this company is black or not. The government decided.
Right, but sort of what punishment did they get?
Yeah. The punishment is only the list up of the website page, but in Kokai the diet making the act of the about the black companies.
Right. And no financial penalties yet?
I don't think so. Not
So
financial.
death has occurred and the company is still operating? Wow.
Yes, Martin and then
My name is Martin Kölling. I'm a journalist from Germany. I have basically two bigger questions. One is, why now? Why does the government makes this an issue now? I mean, the problem is here already for longer. It's not new, but the government is really putting some political capital behind it and is pushing this issue. Why now? And then the other question is, I mean, the government basically charged the companies and the labor union to come up with regulations for overtime and for a cap on overtime. And the cap is ridiculously high still. I think 100 hours per month.
Yeah.
Why do you think that this was a good move to basically entrust the two culprits in this black kigyo problem with solving the problem? And what role do labor unions actually play in this problem, because they are not pushing the interest of the workers in a sense we would push it in Germany.
Yeah. I studied about the labor union in Germany. So Germany is a very big and very strong power. The labor union has a strong powers. So, but in Japan, the union is making union is. I don't know, but I think that it is not the mandatory thing in Japan. So labor union, a lot of big company have a labor union, but small and emerging company is I don't know about the rest of the half company only has a labor union. So labor union power is very low rather than Germany. The first question is what is
Why does the government push this issue now?
Yeah, about the labor union.
No,
Black company, yeah. So government published the black companies, but but I don't know why Japanese government do not to punish the.
No, but why is the government pushing this issue now? I mean,
why is it becoming important now and not 5 years ago?
So what was the reason for the government to say this is an issue? Because before, the Watami case is from 2008. But the government put this on the agenda now, and they decided to go after Dentsu to make a case out of Dentsu. So why did the government suddenly change gears and shifted gears and basically is pressuring?
Sorry, I don't know the detail of about the Japanese government.
Now that you mentioned the parliament, the Japanese parliament, Mr. Watanabe of Watanabe.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The
Yes.
parliamentarian himself.
Yes, that's right. So,
this is the seriousness.
yes,
He's an elected politician.
thank you so much. Yes, that's right. Yes, Mr. Watanabe is a member of the Japanese parliament. Yeah. So but it's my imagine. But Mr. Watanabe do anything to Japanese government or in the diet. So, but I don't know that. Thank you for the question.
My name is Imai from the Showa Women's University. I'm very happy to hear about my colleagues' lecture today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My question is originally about the labor unions, but I changed. I was so interested in your analogy of ie, family,
Yeah.
to the company. But at the same time, I would like to think about if they are daughters or sons, they can say something to their father or mother. So I would like to see some different mentality in there as well. For example, NHK's case is totally different from the family thing. She was a very highly professional woman, journalist. And the Watami's case, she was a sort of simple worker. So it's a little bit difficult for us to just compare these two things, very sad incident. And now I would like to ask your opinion about the mentality as a worker. So originally, naturally, everyone has the right to choose their workplace. If they don't want to work longer, even it's because of the mortgage or something, they can choose to quit. But it's really difficult for them to quit to do so. And I suppose probably they have a kind of sense of obligation, or they do not understand themselves to be in a very mentally ill situation. They do not know. They do not have a fight or guts to find the exit. And so in that sense, I think there is a very huge responsibility in the company to keep the employees' mental health, or even the government, 労働基準局 and other bureaucracies, the function of them. And these days, I think they are weakening. So what do you think about such a kind of enforcement power or function of the society to prevent this kind of sad death? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's right. The first your comment is about the dentsu and not dentsu. NHK and Watami is completely different. Yes, I think so. But so today I will talk about it. So my presentation is very, I want to do that simply. So I just use only NHK in 2015 or 2016. It's still going to the black company that occurred in Japan. I want to do that. Yeah. And the next one is for example, CSR is very important. A lot of Japanese person don't know the CSR well. So we are university professors do the CSR or corporate responsibility. It's so very easy to teach my students. So if we have a chance to talk to the public speaking, so we need to talk about the labor right is very important. The black company is not a good thing. We need to talk from now on. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for your comment.
You mentioned NHK. I visited NHK. It was about a little more than 10 years ago. And I was struck. I saw a pile of mattresses. And I asked why they were there. And they said that's because that's where we sleep on. And I've been to ABC News. I've been to Bloomberg. I mean, journalists and the staff at ABC and Bloomberg work very hard and very well, but I'm not aware. I mean, there may be some who stay overnight, obviously, election night, financial crisis, but it doesn't seem to be the norm. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody from Bloomberg or ABC here to sleep there. I mean, there's people, they seem to take it for normal. I mean, it was like, kind of shogunai, can't be helped. But I think it goes back to this issue of a labor market, that if you quit in Japan, it is not to make a pun on the black company, it's kind of a black mark on your CV, whereas in other labor markets which are more liquid, they say, look, I quit because I'm looking for something better. And that's you can see this with the recruitment market, the executive search market here. It's very different. I mean, I think lack of liquidity, all other things being equal, changes the balance of power in favor of employers. Because you see this also with my friends who are kanryos, government officials. It's kind of harder at 35 to leave. I mean, they would find jobs because they're very good, they're very smart, but except for the ones that could find employment with foreign companies who would love to. I mean, there's nothing, mid-30s, kanryo, elite university, that's great. But the market is small, and it's only applicable, of course, to those who are fluent in English and who want an international environment. So you're kind of stuck in that box. And I think that makes it.
Changing very rapidly, and these days full-time employment is really shrinking. And on the other hand, the job mobility is really getting bigger and bigger. So, of course, I agree with you, and that's a total tendency. But at the same time, there might be some way to escape from such a black kigyo. So that's the very sad part.
Yeah.
But then, as you said in journalism, the journalists, when you're working at NHK, where do you want to change to? At Yomiuri or Asahi, I think they're working same crazy hours.
Right, they also have preferences and their own
You can change from one black kigyo to the other.
I think you're right. You're changing the quality of mattresses. And in fact, when a friend of mine was showing me the new building of a Japanese ministry, and she said to me, oh, it's great, the dorms are better. Not meaning the place where you sleep, where you get a few hours sleep. But I don't think there's something you would see if someone shows you your new building in Berlin. They would maybe say, oh, that's great, sleeping quarters are a lot better here.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say it, a person who has lived through what you talked about. I'm a long-term resident. I've been here 40 years. Of that, I've only worked for Japanese companies. 21 of them was a large public company, and now I'm with a private Japanese company. So the environment that you talked about, I know very, very well. My question is the seniority-based system, lifetime employment, is that the same now, you think, as it was 20 years ago? That's one question.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The next question, then I'll sit down and behave myself, is with long work, with long hours of hard work, is this making Japan a competitive country, or is it weakening it? Namely, your management system that you presented earlier on, now we're in an information technology where most of the work comes from the neck up and not the neck down. Hard labor, long hours, does that make Japanese company competitive or not? Within the environment that we're working with, are you going to be creative or you're not going to be creative at all?
Yeah.
Is this going to weaken Japan or is it going to strengthen it? That's my question and concern.
Two questions. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, the first question is about the seniority-based wage and lifetime employment. Of course, it is not the same 20 years ago, but some company, especially big company in Japan, still going on the seniority base and lifetime employments. The Toyota, one of the biggest company in Japan, still going on the two things. but the name of the famous name is Rakuten. Rakuten is the largest EC market companies. Rakuten is not the seniority-based wages, but the lifetime employment is still on. So I think the seniority-based and the lifetime employment is changing now. The second question is, sorry, just a moment. Yes, competitive. Yeah, long time working is the still competitiveness or not. I think it is difficult to get the advantage of competition for long time working. As you said, the AI and the automation is very important in recent years. So I need to change to the AI or computer machines to change the routine jobs, routine works. So I think changing the AI, the long time working system is decreasing. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm William Swinton from Temple University. I had two questions. In your research, are you seeing any patterns of the types of companies that are black kigyo? Are there certain industries or certain sectors or certain characteristics that would make a company yes or no on that?
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, would you make a comment on whether or not there are a number of scandals that we have seen in some Japanese companies?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that as possibly having the same roots of EA? Could you make any connections with that?
Okay, thank you so much. So, especially black kigyo problem arises in the service industries. It is not usual in B2B or the makers companies. So black kigyo problem is, I think, only arise in service, especially B2C. For example, is Watami, it's a restaurant chain, and Dentsu I think the Dentsu is service companies, for clients, for the Toyota, Nissan, or anything else. So it's service companies. The next question is, sorry, my brain is.
I'm sorry. The second question was, we've seen some scandals in some Japanese companies. You identified EA as a possible root of the black kigyo. Is that EA possibly a root cause of some of the scandals?
Yeah, Japanese company has a lot of scandals, so I don't know the scandalous roots is EA system or not. I don't know that, but especially the black kigyo, it's Watami, and same industry is oh my gosh, another restaurant company. The roots is about EA, roots of EA. So its name is Showa. Showa is a izakaya company. Izakaya is the restaurant companies. Showa use the family too. It's the same as Watami. So I don't know the scandal root is EA or not. I don't know that, but especially the black kigyo problem is roots. I think the roots is EA. I think. Thank you so much.
I will speak from here.
Okay.
I'm Helena, PhD candidate ambassador.
I was wondering, you had these three hypotheses in the beginning, or like what other people thought what could be the case, and the first one was the graph of annual labor hours decreasing, right, for the past 30 years. Is this a graph on the entire population, like working population, no matter if a full-time employee or part-time?
No, it's just only full-time.
Okay.
Full-time employees.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just the other thing that I was just thinking now, so there is not really a penalty so far, is it, to any of these cases?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I've read two different opinions on decreasing work hours. So there are people who argue for work hours decreasing for permanent staff, and then there are those arguing that maybe related to the industries we were talking about, service industries, that in specific industries and companies they're not decreasing at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the whole,
the
whole entire population,
yes.
you see a decrease.
Yeah,
but
that's
for
right.
specific industries and companies,
yeah, still the.
yes,
the
because also there's nothing enforced,
mm-hmm.
cannot be enforced. I was wondering what you.
Yes, that's right. Thank you so much. It's the whole of the employees' working times. So if I choose the izakaya industry, so I think that still go on the high working hours. But I want to talk about over this that slide. The 1988, the Japanese working hours act is they enforced to the only 40 hours per week. Workers can work. Before the 1988, the working hour is 45 hours per week. So the Saturday is Saturday we need to work before the 1988.
Yeah. I'm from the Showa Business Design Department also. I was doing some reading on related issues. One of the things I read was an editorial by the lawyer who is the head of the labor lawyers organization. I think his name is Attorney Shimazaki. He commented on the Dentsu case, and he said it was the first time that a company like Dentsu had been brought to court, but that they were only fined 500,000 yen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nothing. I think they should have been fined something like 10 years of her salary, because maybe she was helping to support the family. Maybe there were people depending on her, and maybe that was why she didn't just quit. And why didn't the court really make them pay? 500,000 yen is nothing to the Dentsu, employees. Most of them, they're paid massively more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, but so I'm so sorry that I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how to judge the penalty fees. So, but this amount is very low. I of course I think that. Sorry, I don't know the answer of your question. I will try to check the record of the law court and why the very small amount of the money the court offered. I will check and I respond in Showa University. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Takagi-sensei. Unfortunately, we've run the end of the session's reached an end, but we're having our reception now, so you can continue to talk with our speaker informally. If you can just kind of mingle around outside while we change the room and prepare the tables for the food, and we'll be back. How long, Eriko? 15 minutes, okay. And then we'll be back here. There's space just outside
Okay, thank you so
where you can
much.
mingle. Thank you so much, Professor Takagi.
Thank you so much.